Welcome back to another episode of Just a Bit Offside. I'm Fish.
J-Dog.
It was divisional playoff football. Saturday and Sunday. A lot of great games. We're going to recap. We also have our season-long predictions in which I have a 6-point lead. So we'll see who picked who was right, and break down these awesome games. First up, it was Jags on the road in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Kansas City heavily favored. Jags with a huge upset in the wild card weekend after being down 27-0.
Yep.
But obviously, Kansas City is a different team than the Chargers.
Yep.
Kansas City, I think the biggest note here is that Patrick Mahomes had a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Pretty early in the game. He sat out a bit. Chad Henne came in.
Yeah, that looked bad, actually.
It looked like it really hurt. He was pissed. I'm sure we can show a clip of that, of him being told he was forced to go get an x-rayed.
Yeah, he wasn't happy
He
about that.
threw his warmer jacket.
Yeah.
He was real pissed off. And Henne actually kept it together. And then Mahomes started the second half, heavily taped ankle.
Yeah.
But it was confirmed today that it's a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, he wasn't the same, Mahomes. So it wasn't a huge domination. I mean, they won 27-20.
Yeah, the Jags covered the spread with a garbage time field goal.
Yeah.
But nowhere near, like they had to do the field goal and an onside kick for a chance to get a TD and tie the game or win it with a 2-point conversion. So I get why that they did this garbage time field goal, but it screwed the spread.
Well,
Jags covered.
I don't think they were too concerned about the spread.
That depends.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Probably some of those players are betting on something.
They did try to win. I get it. But it was, I think it would have been a different game point-wise if Mahomes was 100% healthy.
I think so too. I mean, they started off pretty hot. I mean, Mahomes ended up with 195 yards and 2 TDs, which is decent.
Yeah.
Even with a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, he still even tried, like he hobbled a run for a first down. And I was like, should you be doing that on that ankle? But he doesn't.
He's a player.
He's a machine. He's a winner. He comes to win.
Yeah.
So it was pretty impressive. Travis Kelce had an amazing game.
Yeah, Kelce went for 98 yards, had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Which is great. Chad Henne, just so we talk about, he only had 23 yards, but he did have a TD.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
He kept the game alive.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, 217 yards, TD, interception, 2 sacks. Not a great game by any means. But if you want to look on the KC side, rushing 144 yards. Pacheco knocked it out with 95 yards, which is nice. No rushing TDs, though. They were all receiving TDs.
Yeah.
Kelce had 2 TDs. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had a TD.
The former Packer.
Juju threw in another 29 yards. It was all right. It wasn't.
It wasn't a dominating win, and I think that's because of the high ankle sprain. So that will be a big factor come AFC Championship weekend.
Yeah,
that'll be very. Got to keep an eye on that as far as Patty Mahomes' ankle.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on Jacksonville too. I think they're going to be even better next year.
Yeah,
they're going to win that division.
Yeah,
I mean, that division is just
it's a garbage division. Yeah,
but I mean, Zay Jones had 83 yards. Christian Kirk had 50. Christian Kirk is great.
He was
52
great.
yards. TD. Etienne had a TD. So I think watch out for the Jags next year.
They have an amazing. The biggest thing the Jags did is get Doug Peterson, Super Bowl winning coach from my Eagles of yore. So he's a great coach. Trevor Lawrence is a very good quarterback, despite his 4 interceptions in the first half versus the Chargers in wildcard weekend. He had an interception in this one. If they can work with Trevor Lawrence, he's your guy. They have a very talented squad. They have a decent defense. I agree. I think they can make a couple of moves. They easily can win that division.
Oh yeah,
and keep making playoff appearances.
Yeah, you never know though. Because Brady might go to the Titans.
If that, I guess that depends.
You never know. Yeah. Or Rodgers. Who knows?
You never know.
Who knows?
Really, their biggest challenge in that division is the Titans.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We'll see how that all plays out. But Jags, great season, great comeback in wildcard weekend to win that game for this one. But you had the Chiefs, even with Patty Mahomes' ankle.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the Chiefs. Who I believe we both picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, we both did.
All right, so we each get a point for that prediction. Next up on that Saturday divisional round, it was my Philadelphia Eagles who were taking on the Giants, who I actually picked them to upset the Vikings, but in no way did I think they'd have a really good chance against the Eagles. I did think they might cover the spread because in Week 18, the Giants placed the Eagles, and Hurts was still not 100%, and the game was close. And then after the Giants did to the Vikings, I'm like, Eagles are going to win, but the Giants will keep it close. And I was wrong.
Well, let me just double check.
My Eagles.
Come on, you're getting ahead of yourself.
Destroyed them.
We didn't have a lot of prep time. Let me just double check the math on this.
All right, let's check the math here.
37, 31. So the spread was 7.5. Gotcha. They lost by 31. Let me just do the math on that.
Carry the one.
Minus that, plus that. Wait. Square root of, no.
Eagles covered.
Eagles covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the final score?
38-7.
It was a beating. The Giants did not look good.
No.
I'll tell you another thing. Dable, the Giants head coach, a great season, up for Coach of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why he's going to lose the Coach of the Year honors come the awards time before Super Bowl is because of one play happened in this game. He called, it was 4th and 8, and it was like near the 50-yard line.
Hey, you got to take chances.
And you go for it on 4th and 8.
Yeah.
Not 4th and inches. Not 4th and 1. 4 and 2. No. You went for it on 4th and 8 midfield.
Yeah,
come on.
How down were they at that time?
I believe it was I want to say it was 14-0.
Yeah.
It was early.
Okay.
It could have been 7-0 or 14-0, but it was early enough in the game that you punt that ball. You don't go for it on 4th and 8 midfield. You want to go for it on 4th and 8 on the Eagles 20?
Yeah.
You're deep enough that it doesn't matter whether you're going to punt it or go for a field goal, and you want to go for it on 4th and 8. I'll give you that. But midfield 4th and 8, you punt. That was dumb.
I think you're right. I feel that punt would have changed the entire dynamics of the game. I think you're right.
I'm just saying it was a stupid call.
That would have been an energizing punt. Sorry, did I say pump? Punt?
Punt, yeah.
And I think the team would have rallied around that punt.
Wow.
And then they would have come blasting back.
Do you agree that that's a horrible coach?
Well, yeah, you shouldn't be doing it. But at that point,
don't go for it.
You were getting outmatched. I mean, Daniel Jones had 135 yards. He had no TDs. He had an interception, and he was sacked 5 times.
That's bad.
Philly's D came out to play.
Really good.
Jalen Hurts had his usual blah 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 show off game. 154 yards, 2 TDs. He ran in one. Ran in a TD. Had 34 rushing yards. We get it.
The Eagles' rushing game was on fire.
Yeah, they actually had 268 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Kenneth Gainwell had 112 yards and a TD. Miles Sanders had 90. Boston Scott had a TD. Yeah, they had it going on.
They dominated the entire game. It wasn't even close. The Giants had no chance. They did not get anywhere near that 7.5 spread. The Eagles dominated, and I loved every single effing second of it.
All right.
It was fantastic. Now, did you pick the Giants?
I did.
Oh, so I get a point for that one.
Just to mess with you.
The Eagles, I appreciate it. And we'll talk about the other games. So we'll briefly discuss like who each of these teams are going to be playing next week. But you have to tune in later this week for our prediction show for the championship weekend. All right. Next up on Sunday.
Yeah.
Bengals.
This was the game of the weekend, I think.
I was so excited for this game.
Yeah, we had snow.
Yeah.
It
was in Buffalo.
We had Hamlin in the house.
Yeah, he was in a suite.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
This was the game. This was the game we were all looking forward to, and I don't think we got the game we wanted.
We got robbed.
Yeah.
It was absolutely not even close. The Bills got embarrassed in their own home stadium with Damar Hamlin watching. And they kept cutting to him. It was funny because with the blizzard, you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
You got like an outline of him, but it was everything in the Bills' favor to win this game at home. Damar Hamlin on site, healthy, recovering from the game that they canceled. This is the rematch of that game. That one was in Cincinnati. This one being in Buffalo with the weather. Everything favoring the Bills, and they did not deliver. It wasn't even close. The Bengals dominated. They had something like 30 first downs.
30 first downs and 0 turnovers.
You can't lose a game that way. They are they were absolutely perfect.
Yeah, they also converted on 60% of their third downs.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Yeah, it was, they came to play.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Joe Burrow is a beast.
242 yards, 2 TDs. The thing is, he just had it was confidence. Like, he's like, we're winning this game, I'm worried about it. Josh Allen didn't look great. He had 265 yards, which is still good, but 265 yards and no TDs, like no receiving
TDs.
And he had 265 yards and an interception. That's all he had really going on,
I'll also say this, that I was worried with the Bengals. The only reason I was even worried about this game a little bit for the Bengals, even though it was on the road and everything that's behind Buffalo right now, I was a little worried because the Bengals offensive line had some major injuries.
Yeah, 3 key players out.
And so they had backups in the O-line. I'm like, and Joe Burrow does get sacked a lot, and he only got 1 sack in this game.
1 sack's good.
So Joe Burrow, hats off to that offensive line for coming together. And the Bengals just, what was the final score? It wasn't even close.
No, it's 27-10.
27-10.
Yeah.
Bengals dominated. Joe Mixon had a great game and a touchdown.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase is a beast.
I just don't know what the bigger story is. Like, the domination of the Bengals or the just destruction and
the Bills
falling apart.
Yeah.
Like Josh Allen ran in the only touchdown that they had. They only had 63 yards rushing. 31 of those were Josh Allen. He was leading the team again.
We've talked about that.
Yeah, Singletary only had 24 yards.
We've talked about that the Bills don't have a running game, and the only running game they have is their quarterback.
Yeah.
They need a bell cow. They need a big, dominant running back if the Bills want to do anything in this offseason now that their season's over. Go get a running back and beef up your defense.
Well, and 265 yards and no TDs, that's an issue.
That's an issue.
Like, Diggs only had 35 yards, right?
Yeah.
Dawson Knox led the team. Dawson Knox is awesome, he also only led the team with 65 yards. Like, nobody really dominated. It wasn't spread out. Whereas Gabe Davis had 34 yards. If you look on the Bengals, 42 yards receiving. Jamar Chase, 61. Hayden Hurst, 59. Perine, 31. T. Higgins, 28. Tyler Boyd, 23. Like, it was going all over the place. Joe Mixon had 105 yards and a TD and 18 receiving. Like, it's just... Bengals came to play. They were pissed off about selling the 50,000 tickets in Atlanta. I don't blame them.
We have to talk about this quick because Joe Burrow, after the game, we got to show this clip. After the game, he's being interviewed, and it was brought up because if the Bills had won, there's going to be the neutral site AFC Championship game in Atlanta, and they were pre-selling tickets. 50,000 tickets sold. And the Bengals are like, hey, we could win, right?
Just that chip on your shoulder. Everyone talking about a neutral AFC Championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
Joe Burrow, full of confidence. They're now facing the Chiefs in AFC Championship. Patty Mahomes with a high ankle sprain. They beat the Chiefs earlier this season, and they beat the Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl. You tell me the Bengals are not on a roll right now.
Yeah, Bengals are going to be, got to be, like, it's even right now.
It's right now the spread's even.
It's even, but the Bengals should be favored.
Yeah.
All
right, next up, we had the last game of the divisional playoffs.
Another kind of disappointing game.
Wasn't a lot of offense.
Yeah, Dallas was in San Fran.
Yeah.
And wasn't that dominating offense we wanted to see. The final score was 19-12 San Fran.
Very heavily defense game. Actually, both sides. You got to give the Cowboys defense credit for holding the 49ers.
Yeah, both Ds played great. But, yeah, like, Prescott had 206 yards, a TD, 2 interceptions.
Lots of interceptions.
Of course.
He loves it.
Prescott, 2 interceptions, like, of course.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, 214 yards. He had no TDs, no interceptions. They were all rushing TDs.
Well, they did have good rushing TDs, especially Christian McCaffrey. Was such a great pickup this season.
But he had a quiet game. He only had 35 yards of rushing, a TD, and receiving 22. Like nothing crazy. Kittle had a crazy catch.
Oh, we have to talk about that.
We got to show that. And he led the team in receiving with 95 yards.
Got to show that clip. Kittle, it was insane how he tipped the ball almost to himself. It hit his helmet.
Yeah.
It bobbled. He still caught it. But the greatest thing about that catch was there was a defender who's going to hit him. He knows the hit's coming.
Yeah.
And was able to barely just avoid that massive hit while concentrating and controlling that bobbled ball. It was one of the greatest catches of the season. So that was a really great catch.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, San Fran, was favored by 4. They covered the spread, obviously.
Yeah.
Dallas had nothing going on besides CeeDee Lamb, who is amazing.
He's great.
For 117 yards, he was 10 of 13.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb is amazing.
And the only TD for Dallas was Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz, and the extra point got blocked.
Maher. Maher, if you don't remember, last weekend for the wildcard weekend, Dallas did win their game.
Yep.
But Maher missed 4 extra points in a row. He had the yips. He finally got one at the end of the game just to kind of get himself right. So everyone was wondering how Maher was going to kick this game. They got the opening TD, Dallas. San Fran hadn't scored yet. And so they go for the extra point. And if you look at it carefully, it was going to shank to the left hard.
Oh, it was going.
It got blocked. So he got lucky because he would have been more embarrassed that he shanked it again than it being blocked, but it was definitely going to miss.
Oh, no, it was going.
But Maher, to his credit, did get 2 field goals through that game, and I wouldn't be shocked if he gets cut by the Cowboys now that their season's over.
But that's all they got, 12 points.
Yeah.
6 points off of Schultz, blocked punt, blocked field goal, sorry.
Extra point.
Yeah. And then 2 field goals, like 12 points. That's it.
Horrible game. And Dak does what Dak does best. Actually, I heard a great nickname for him on the sports radio this morning. Double Agent Dak. Because he'll get it done, but then he'll also screw you over with all the interceptions. So he again threw 2 interceptions. It's what Dak Prescott does. I still think he's the guy. They're paying him way too much not to be the guy.
Oh, no.
But you didn't replace Amari Cooper. You move CeeDee Lamb into the number 1 spot, but you don't have enough people helping on offense. Your defense is great. Micah Parsons is an absolute beast. And Van Der Esch, they have a great D-line. Love Dallas's defense, but you got to replace your kicker, and you need a little bit more help on receiver. It's also worth noting that Tony Pollard also went out with a high ankle sprain. And then Ezekiel Elliott didn't do anything. And the funniest thing about Ezekiel
26
Elliott
yards, that's it.
Was that last play. That we're gonna do a trick play to end the game, guys.
Oh, right.
And Ezekiel Elliott hiked the ball and got like he's not an offensive lineman, so he got barreled backwards. And then that trick play was nothing. Dak threw it. The guy got tackled. Game's over. It was an embarrassing, stupid trick play by Mike McCarthy. That was just dumb.
But I'd also like to point out though, they got to look at the game film, and they got to be very nervous because, honestly, Dak should have had probably 5 or 6 interceptions.
There was a couple that got dropped.
They were like,
you're right.
They were like literally telegraphed passes that they were like they should have been picked.
I agree. There should have been actually more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention who picked 2 in the Bengals game, and then who picked 2 in this game.
Well, I picked the Bills.
I get a point for the Bengals.
Of course.
Okay.
And I picked Dallas.
Okay.
So I'm 1 for 4.
So I was perfect.
You were perfect.
All right. So I go up 3 in our season-long predictions. And we do have still these 2 games and Super Bowl coming up. So we'll give you double points on any correct ones that you got.
I'm still down 9.
All right. No. 5 times the points. You got 5. You got a 5x on your picks for Championship Sunday.
Picking games right is overrated. Anyone can pick them right.
Yeah.
Getting this many wrong is a talent.
That's a talent.
Yeah.
So yes, that is our recap of the divisional playoffs. There was a lot of fun football. I'm really excited for the AFC and NFC Championship weekend coming up. Both games on Sunday. And it'll be Bengals Chiefs in Arrowhead. There's no mutual site because of the Chiefs record. That was only if they face the Bills. The Bengals right now, Chiefs, it's an even spread. We'll talk all about this on our prediction show. So tune in for the prediction show later this week. But that's coming up. And then Eagles, 49ers, the 1 and the 2 seed facing each other. It will be in Philadelphia. I am so pumped. I am so pumped for
both games are going to be great.
Both games are going to be awesome.
I hope Mahomes is feeling decent, and if it is, it's going to be an even better game. But if not, it's still going to be a good game.
You know he's going to gut through it and play, especially after his reaction when being forced to go get an X-ray. They'll tape the crap out of it. They'll do whatever they have to do. He will play. He'll hobble. He'll still do it. I know Patty Mahomes. He's not going to sit there in the AFC Championship game and let Chad Henne throw the ball.
Yeah.
So guaranteed that's probably going to happen, but it'll gives the Bengals definitely an advantage.
Right.
So tune in later this week for our prediction show for Championship Sunday. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
We'll see you again soon.
Peace.